God. Someone, Piper, there's a fire extinguisher here somewhere.
You might as well get a head start. I'll still beat you home.
We have any fire blankets?
Look at the look
Cover
on
yourself
his face.
up. Daddy just roasted the boy. Good.
Somebody take me to Penryn so I can be somebody's warmth for tonight.
Yeah. Man.
Woo. That was like we were making s'mores, and someone just dropped the fucking marshmallow right into the fire.
Yeah.
This one comes from deep in the soul.
Yeah, everyone's sad about this one. Everyone is sad.
Yeah. Everybody's sad.
New air intakes on the way.
If I could do it on command, I would float a tear for you.
Yeah, like the Indian.
If I had a gun, I would shoot the fuck out of
That guy is not a real Indian.
Same thing?
I read a whole thing about that.
Really?
Yeah, you know that. Remember that old commercial? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
It
not,
was littering, wasn't it?
yeah, exactly. It was from like the 70s or the early
and he
80s
sees
or
like
something.
a field of trash
It's like
or
a bunch of
something.
trash next to the highway, and he's just he's sitting on his horse. And
Oh.
yeah.
There's a couple of trash on the driveway here.
Oh. Wow.
That was my best shot.
I don't think that
Yeah.
my best rebuttal.
Yeah.
I don't think that you could actually ever say that about
Two
the
pieces
RS.
of trash and it rolls canardly in the dirt gutter back there.
Oh boy. Have we started yet?
Yeah, we're
Oh.
good to go.
All right. Well,
55? 56? 55?
wait.
Oh my God, dude.
We don't even know. I got to look. Hold on.
Quick.
Nobody leave the room.
While
55.
while he learns to count, did you see the Mighty Car Mods? They do their last episode with the completely Revo modded GTI.
No.
Wolfsburg.
Oh.
Is it the Wolfsburg edition?
Uh-huh.
I need to subscribe
Against
to that channel.
his Evo.
Our source says 55.
We are on 55,
Yeah,
sweetie?
it's 55.
We've got our podcast assistant, non-asshole production crew.
Wait, do you want to
Yeah.
be in the asshole production crew? Because it's a party of one. We could use more
Yeah.
than that.
The thing of it is that is just a title.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean anything.
So we're on 55 or we're on 56?
We're on 55.
55.
Welcome to Sad Dad's Club Podcast, episode 55.
I am the Lord Fu.
I am Jim.
We have our asshole production crew this evening.
I'm back, you sons of bitches.
All right.
Oh, he's
There
on
we go.
fire
He didn't even
already.
swallow the mic. Anyway, so
I'm hungry.
They put the two, so they were fully tweaked out and fixed.
Are you talking about
the GTI versus an Evo?
Okay.
Heavily modded. Yeah. Oh, the Golf R.
Okay.
Almost.
I just
all-wheel drive.
that
So
sub
Jalfar,
It's really good. Basically, they're pretty close, on par with each other. The modern abilities of the Golf R allow it to pull out faster.
Heyo.
But the Evo, because it's more mechanical and it's all-wheel drive stuff, less computers but more differentials and how it's.
yeah, but the Golf R is all-wheel.
It is.
Yeah.
They both are, but there's more computer that's keeping him when they start getting on the track.
So they have more tech
Yes,
managing.
it's more mechanical in the Evo, is what they end up saying.
Okay.
And the Evo catches the Golf, but the second there's not enough for either one. Once one is in the lead, neither one has an opportunity or enough gumption to overtake the other.
Oh, interesting.
But you can tell that the Evo in the twisties catches the Golf, but doesn't have enough there to overtake it. They're very on par with each other. It was a really good episode, and the whole build out for the Revo stuff on the Golf R was really good.
well,
Anyway,
seeing as how looks like I
will watch
have 1, possibly 2 days off now, I will have to check that out.
it was a good one.
Yeah.
It was really good. And they make it funny, haha. But in the end, they're both
Pretty comparable.
Yeah, they are, and they call
one
it
has slight strengths over the other, and the other one has slight strengths over the other.
And it's interesting to see that the older aged Evo, in how it does its all-wheel drive stuff, makes up for its like lack of modernized like launch control and all those things that are better, just flat out better in the Golf R, and they point that out too.
Yeah.
cheaper. Everything that they did to that Golf R that came from that whoever the aftermarket people were, Revo, was bolt-on. There was no like, well, we got to get in here with a torch and we have to cut this.
Right.
The wheels, I don't know if they did a turbo.
Turborino?
Intercooler, all the stuff that they did to it.
Didn't they do that in someone else's garage?
Yeah, they rented out someone's
that.
like Euro garage or something, and they were experts, so they had help. But they did it. You know, it was all bolt-on.
I watched that. That was impressive, actually.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That's a lot of money. If you were just a person that had a Golf R and you wanted to do what they have done, they spent a lot of money on, or it was donated,
I think it was probably sponsored
but
stuff.
to buy all that stuff retail, and then I mean, that's thousands of dollars.
But the fact that it was bolt-on makes those opportunities like, well, you could a la carte it because it was bolt-on. A lot of those things, when you go looking at doing little stuff to your car, and you get faced with, it's a catback exhaust, but I'm going to have to start cutting something.
Right.
It's like, that takes away the kind of ability for you to get your feet wet in that space. I'm
that kind of person where I want stuff to be as sleeper as possible. I want it to be as stock as it can be.
Yeah.
If you're modding it, that's great, but I want it to look like it's stock, or I don't want it to look like I had to like haphazardly do some BS to it to get this crap installed.
I'm not a fan of adding unnecessary flamboyance.
Yeah.
Like
pomp and circumstance.
You're not going to see a Cobb sticker on the side of my fender, or like all the little Honda and Volkswagen logos that I've like crucified at a stoplight.
Is this motherfucker?
Like a Spitfire or something. It's the stick. I'm the same way. Like, I'm very minimalist. I don't necessarily want you to know because if there's ever shenanigans to happen, those are all upper hands to the driver and the car itself.
Yeah,
I just have the license plate frame.
And most people aren't going to see that if they're,
unless you know what that is. Yeah. You're not going to.
People just think he's talking about corn.
Yeah, the guys that have like Honda Performance and VTEC on the fucking like upper shade window and like
so dumb
Cobb stickers and some sort of like headlight delete, and there's
Cobb
a K&N filter sticking out. You're like,
like I'm like old, right? So if I was young and like high school or right out of high school, it might be more appealing for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You want to put a shaker hood on your 2-liter?
Yeah, my 2-liter inline 4 needs a shaker. Absolutely. God.
It doesn't really come up that high. We just have it on motors.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, and the only time it shakes is when it goes into auto stop and clicks back on.
Yeah.
It just shakes a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Civics and shit that put those little fins on the roof across the top?
Oh, like the diffusers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a ways.
Yeah, okay. Because I think they started on the Evo 10.
What is the purpose of those?
So it's an air diffuser, like it helps alleviate draft and like vacuum as it goes over the car. Now on rally cars, that's one thing.
Yeah.
You'll see them on the. In fact, the guy just around the corner has a sedan WRX.
Let me see if I can pull those.
And they have it has it like above the rear window.
Yeah.
They have a function. It's like a spoiler. It has a function.
Right.
You're not getting anything out of that at city street
when
speeds.
You're at 45 miles an hour.
Maybe even freeway speeds. I don't even know.
It's probably subjective. Now you probably will get more out of how car. I don't know if yours has it, like the under trays.
Mm-hmm.
Does your car have a under tray?
Yeah, it does.
Yes. Now those you're probably seeing more significance from than you probably didn't even know it.
Because
the turbulence that you get underneath the car.
Yeah, it just sweeps by instead of like scooping up behind stuff.
There's probably a lot more to be had as far as efficiency and certainly fuel mileage and protecting the undercarriage of your car with the trays that are happening nowadays. And that used to be like an exotic car thing because they were trying to min-max drafting and drag coefficient and all that stuff.
You're right.
Anyway,
I've been one of the channels we have a video feed on is on MSN Sports Network.
Okay.
And they do a lot of NASCAR stuff throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
And they do this series like History of NASCAR series, which is kind of interesting to hear them talk about stuff like from way back in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that. But they were talking about when is it the Car of Tomorrow first came out? No, it was the cars previous to the Car of Tomorrow.
Okay.
Or may have been a gen before that even, where these new real boxy cars came out that weren't, they kind of realized that, you know, cars are not factory, or they don't have the body style of stock cars anymore. So it was like one of their first gen stock cars, and it was the one was sort of like a 2-door coupe looking thing, but the back window just had a drop off, so it was like squared out. And the thing is that they had a lot of problems with those cars because they could get the downforce on the front end, the aero down, but because of the way the rear end was shaped on the back window, it would lift on the
back.
The back.
Yeah.
And so they had cars just floating and doing all kinds of weird stuff just because of aero stuff. And they had people wrecking, like really bad wrecks, and a lot of the drivers were afraid of them.
Yeah.
Because you never knew when the car was just going to take off. You know, maybe you got some dirty air or, you know, something like that in the middle of the race, and then suddenly your car's now lifting up off the track. It was really interesting to see that.
That reminds me. Were you a fan of? Do you watch a lot of MythBusters?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you ever see the one where they did with the trucks and the tailgate being up or down?
Oh no, I didn't see that one.
As a kid growing up in the country, that used to be a thing. It was like
you put the tailgate down.
You take the tailgate down so that way drafting, right?
Right.
If your tailgate's up,
it would
then
just
it's
go straight
it's
through.
like a fucking air dam.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's not. What happens is you create like a vortex inside the bed of the tailgate, and that acts almost like
a ball,
as like a camper shell.
Yeah.
And so once it creates the vortex, it goes over it, and it is not a hindrance. It is
interesting.
And most trucks nowadays are actually designed with the intention of the tailgate being up, specifically to create that vortex behind the cab, and that's how they're designed. And I'm like, all those times, man.
Yeah.
I was like, we go anywhere in the trucks when we were, up off from Courtney. We go anywhere. As soon as
tailgate down.
It was like, take the tailgate down. We're not going to Grass Valley. We're going to, we're going
to the big city.
Yeah, we're getting on the freeway. Take the tailgate down. It's like,
we need that aero.
Yeah.
Get some MPGs.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of money, so take the tailgate down.
And little did you know you were hindering.
Yeah, we were fucking it up. Because all it does,
taking your 12 miles per gallon and you're getting 12.01 miles
it's probably
per gallon.
closer like 8.
Yeah.
Fucking it up. So quick, put some alfalfa back there to fill up the bed. Anyway, quite interesting. So yes, I believe it. Once you, and that was it too for traction of the trucks. Without the down pressure of the vortex there, the bed of the truck starts to lift up, because now that suction gets placed further behind the truck at the tail outside of the tailgate, and the wheels you get loft. You get
what's
floaty.
what's the NASCAR camper, or not camper, truck series? What is it?
Yeah, the truck series.
Yeah.
Bush? No.
Is it?
It's. I thought it was
Camping
just,
World or something
no,
series, or
I don't know
whatever
the name,
it is.
The truck series.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I would imagine they probably had a lot of problems with.
Well, they have like the tonneau covers
cover.
and like the huge
wing
lip at the ass end.
Yeah.
To because they don't have the bed. They don't. So they've.
Yeah.
They create the vortex
like
with
the
that
unicorn.
huge lip. Yeah, the unicorn.
That's
Although
Hoona-
he's just
Hoona
got,
truck, Hoona truck.
he just throws horsepower.
He doesn't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
he's just drafting or drifting. He don't give fucks.
Who?
Ken Block.
Oh.
The Hoona truck.
Hoona truck. Yeah,
He
the Hoona
doesn't
Corn
even
was a
need to be
Mustang.
going very fast. He can just peel off
Yeah,
his
he
tires
just-
and skid around.
But he
But-
does. He fucking rips it and then rips
he
it,
does.
Yeah.
Of course.
Anyway.
Interesting stuff. Well, we had an interesting thing happening this week, which was the PG&E shutdown of like almost 1 million people's worth of power.
Oh yeah.
Which is crazy because, you look at what's happening as far as the weather? I mean, is it really
Right.
enough?
I got hit from so many people at work. It was like almost like the meme joke as far as when you work with people that are not from the same state. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, do you
Oh,
surf?
your power's out, huh?
Do you surf? That kind of thing with California. It was like,
Yeah.
are you losing power? Like when the fires are going around. Now,
Uh-huh.
obviously, there were a lot of fires and most people were affected. But it was
Yeah.
like as soon as there was news, all I got from the East Coast was like, dude, are the fires affecting you? I'm like, well, the smoke is, but no, there's no fires here.
Well,
Yeah.
you're
It was
so close too.
Dude.
It's not even unreasonable for them to hit you up.
right.
We're like-
but a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
yeah. So it was like, dude, are you going to lose your power? I'm
Did
like,
you?
Well,
No.
you're not that far away
No,
from
right. And,
people
and
that
you
are.
look at the map, and I'm like, no, but I'm at just enough of like a ridgeline where you go probably 7 to 10 minutes just over the freeway,
Yeah.
and they are getting close. I
Yeah.
said, me and another lady who live out in Citrus Heights, I'm like, we're on like the border of like we're not PG&E customers, and we have refrigeration,
Right.
Well,
I was telling my wife, like we were talking about it at dinner, and I said, so my work is in the area that got turned off. So for people that are listening, and so the power's off, and work is basically saying we're closed. We can't do anything. So just stay home. So I had the day off because the company's power's off.
right.
So my experience, because I commute so far from compared to the people who live up there and go to work where
Right.
I work,
Yeah.
is we have totally different experiences. I come home and I've got power and TV and everything is just normal,
Yeah.
except I just can't go to work. The people that live up there, not only can they not go to work, but their houses also don't have power.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like in a camping situation.
So I suppose the oddity, the outlier, Nevada County is no stranger to power loss, whether it's
No.
the snow
Yeah.
or inclement weather or fires.
But power loss due to, a
it's like it's
situational
sunny
thing.
outside.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's like, PG&E got so hosed over the fact that they have caused fires and death and
negligent equipment.
entire communities have burned down.
Yeah.
Negligence and all that stuff. So they have been so hosed that now it's like, well, we're not going to let that happen because we got trashed and we've been bankrupt. So
Right.
we're just going to start turning off the power anytime a gnat farts.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. and that's the harsh reality of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you remove all other options from any enterprise, they're going to especially someone of their size,
Uh-huh.
right? A phone company, I'm sure, would be the same. Any utility that's privately owned-ish or public, they're public.
Pacific, I don't know if are they
they're
their
public.
own thing?
They're their
Oh,
own.
they're a publicly traded
Yeah.
company. Is that what you're saying?
Anytime you get something that affects that many people and they are facing all of the litigation that they are, and without money, they no longer have all of the opportunities. Like, well, we can stagger stuff, or we can abate this until we start getting weather reports, and then we'll start pulling triggers.
Yeah.
If you dial it back like 2 years or so, the communication we had with some of our Gold Country friends,
Yeah.
they had a thing up there in Colfax, up in the foothills, where it was, we might turn off the power.
Uh-huh.
We might be in a situation where we might. Now, obviously, everyone got repetitive calls, and they, it was an annoyance. But that was different.
Wasn't it ultimately though they didn't turn the power off?
Right,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Yeah.
I don't think they ended up doing it. So
Yeah.
they went that extra step where they were annoying.
It felt like they were gauging the feedback.
Right.
On it.
Well-
Is it going to be super negative, or are people pissed off or not?
It could certainly,
And-
and I think, but they were also like, "How bad's the weather?" At some point, does it start getting? Okay, yeah, now we have to start pulling. This
Yeah.
was, we can't afford any opportunities to wait to hear or get information on a failure. We have to preemptively just pull it.
Yeah.
Just because we can't.
Yeah.
Their hands are tied. They don't have any more opportunities.
And what's
or get out of
what's
jail free.
amazing is that they won't turn it back on until they inspect all of the transmission lines in the area.
Yeah.
That's what's nuts. And
See,
how
now,
many
I
miles
thought-
of transmission lines are we talking about? We're talking about service to almost 1 million people.
Didn't some of the Granite Bay people get their power back though? So
I
is
haven't
it
heard.
all or nothing, or was
I
it
don't know.
segmented?
I haven't heard.
Because obviously we just found out that Lake of the Pines is still without power. So I imagine
Yeah.
my dad's without power,
Yeah.
and he's on. Well, I could call my dad later just to see. Although, what time is it?
Well,
No, I can't.
my office is saying they had to make a custom page where they could post stuff.
Yeah.
And so I went and checked it, and so like 5:15 or so tonight, they posted up there, well, we're closed today. Tomorrow's questionable. We'll make the decision by 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So basically my alarm will go off, and then the first thing I'm going to do is check and see whether or not they say we're closed for the day.
Yeah.
And then if they're closed for the day, I'm just going to go back to bed.
Bye.
Yeah, but I mean,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah, so some of the
kinda
stuff I
crazy.
had gotten from people at work were just like, does this happen all the time? Like, when did you know? I'm like, I'll be perfectly blunt and honest. I said, I didn't hear about it until yesterday.
yeah.
And I even Alexa, what's the weather? And I heard 77, mostly sunny. And I went,
What is happening?
why is the power going out?
Yeah.
Well, there's supposed to be wind literally everywhere that's to a dangerous level,
Yeah.
potentially, at least for aging and negligent equipment,
Uh-huh.
except for right here where we are in like the bowl of the valley. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I get it. But I'm like, I have no idea if it's supposed to be this windy on the rim of the bowl again tomorrow or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I have no idea.
Well, in our county, we're kind of unusual here. I mean, we're on the very southern end of Placer County, and we're a little bit unusual here in Roseville in that we have mostly underground utilities,
Right.
number one.
Yeah.
And number two, the big one is that
It's
we
like I
don't
can see,
have
like, the giant
PG&E.
towers.
Yeah, we don't have PG&E
Yeah.
as our
Main.
electrical supplier. We actually have a city-owned utility, which is called Roseville Electric.
Right.
So any decisions that PG&E makes on cutting transmission lines and turning whole
Has
communities off doesn't affect us here.
Right.
Nor would it affect people in Sacramento because they are on SMUD, Sacramento Municipal Utility District.
Yeah.
And so SMUD makes their own decisions. Of course, they haven't caused communities to burn down like
Yeah.
PG&E
Yeah.
has.
Which is
So-
funny because I guarantee you that at some point all of the lines, everyone's plugged into.
Well, yeah, I would
Probably
imagine
everyone.
that Roseville Electric buys their power from SMUD and PG&E or whoever,
Right.
and so you're just getting it from different sources.
Right.
you know?
So if the podcast actually ends at any point abruptly, it's because Sure West or Roseville, we lost power.
Well, I don't think that would happen here.
It would be funny. We would survive.
Yeah.
That was it too. That's part of the funny haha. It's like, some of these people, again, to like Nevada County's credit, I'm like
Yeah.
those people, it's a hardship, and we're kind of like aged out with a lot of boomers and millennials and Gen Xers that are comfortable with comfort smart devices and,
Oh, yeah.
and using the internet for stuff. But the old,
Not me.
like us and older,
Not
or
you.
we can adapt. It's like yeah, this has happened.
Yeah,
but
I
you
grew
listen
up
to
with-
some of the complaints of these people. They're just like, oh, I don't know. How do I flush my toilet?
Yeah.
Like what?
You mean,
Netflix is down?
I don't have power, and
Yeah.
now I don't have a well
Yeah.
to pump water into my house.
What does this mean?
Now what do I do?
What do I? How do I sleep?
And I drive a Tesla,
Yeah,
and I didn't charge my car.
Yeah.
And now what?
Now there are certainly hardships, but it's funny to see.
Yeah.
And we were joked with Mike about how let's keep the power off.
Yeah.
Give me 24 hours.
Oh,
give
yes.
me 2 nights.
Give me 2 days.
in some of these urban places that have no idea what it's like to live without power for 2 hours, let alone 24.
Oh my gosh.
And let's see what happens when people start trying to eat their young because there's no microwave for a mac and cheese or some shit. Hot Pockets.
Let me charge a couple Anchor batteries and we'll be square.
Yeah.
Well, like my buddy
That's all I
Steve,
care about.
hashtag Hey Steve, they have, he's making beer, so he's got fridges or freezers
Oh, yeah.
that he has to
Shit
turn
like
on. So
that.
he's got a generator powering that stuff. He lives up in Grass Valley,
Right.
and he has no power, so he's running generators to run all that stuff. He's got inverters. He's charging his truck battery to do
Anyone
stuff.
in Nevada County.
He's
or
got
probably
25 gallons of fuel.
The upper Placer County people that have ever been without power or dealt with some of these snowstorms that came too far down or dumped too much that need a generator that understand are already it's an annoyance. I guarantee you that they're pissed and problematic.
I mean, not everybody up there is that prepared. Not everybody has
Not
generators.
everybody, but anyone who's been through those things, it's like fucking, I know that Donna is probably up there like, well, I'm going to bed early. Fuck these people.
She's like,
yeah.
She's running a generator.
Yeah, if she, and that's if she wanted. She's like, fucking whatever.
She lives on a ridge in the mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like one of the outliers, right? I mean, really.
Donna has no fucks. I'm like, what? What's
No.
this power thing?
She's like, oh, hey, Barry, you want to come visit my property? Oh, there goes your neck. Sorry.
We could wrestle.
Yeah.
Hashtag hi, Donna.
She's a badass mofo for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah, that's a scary thing, man. People are...
So, do you know how long it's supposed to go?
It's
No,
anywhere
I don't
from
think I know.
48 hours to 5 days.
So it's a very good chance that I won't be going to work tomorrow. I think it'll be off at least 2
4-day
days.
weekend. Now, I did look at the forecast, and I saw that next week...
Because tomorrow's only Thursday. So that means they'll probably get
5-day
power
weekend.
back, and then Friday I'll have to fucking drive to work and be there for...
Spend half the day slowly powering everything on because that'd be a thing, right? You can't have everyone in whatever all the buildings like...
That was one of the
Right.
directives that they asked everybody to do was power off everything.
Right.
So that when power came back on, it didn't just...
surge the system.
Yeah, so...
Toss all the breakers.
I have a bench that's got a ton of electronics on it. So I shut everything down that needed to be shut down, like computers, so they went down gently. And then I just ran around the back and flipped both of the... I have the big... what are they?
Sure. What?
Trip lights or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I have two of those back there that are the length of my bench that are completely full of powered stuff.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I just went back, clicked them both off. The whole thing went boo, and it got real fucking quiet in my cube. I was like, I could hear a pin drop in here. This is amazing. And
damn.
suddenly I'm chilly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm not glowing because of all the radiation of
Yeah.
electromagnetic harmonics just blasting
So,
you from every angle.
I'm like, I have like, I don't know, 4 or 5 computers in my cube. They all got shut down. I'm like turning off the trip lights, and it just got really quiet. So I can't imagine.
Was that eerie then walking out of the office and it was just like,
It was
hey,
like,
hey.
There's
Kinda.
no one doing anything. Did you turn it off
See
right
you
at
guys
4 or
tomorrow.
whatever time you fucking leave? Or?
right about 4:30 is when I shut everything down. Yeah. And in fact, I had a Mac OS 10. There's a new Catalina update for 10.15. And I downloaded the update, and I'm like,
Oh,
I don't want to.
no.
I'll just wait to install this when I get back. I
Yeah.
downloaded it, and I'm like, no, I'll do this. I'll do this when I come back, when
You can
power's restored.
You can somehow install Catalina on older machines. I bet you could get it on the
Somehow.
on the Mac Mini at home.
The Mac Mini is now back 2 revs.
But I think there's going to be some way that you can actually,
By design, it won't
Yeah.
take the new stuff.
No, it's
No, it's
see ya.
Bye,
it's
Pepper. Good night.
It's behind. It's on 10.13, and 10.14's been out now, and now 10.15 is out. So it's
Because people are
it won't
putting
update past 10.13.
people are putting Catalina on 09 MacBook Pros.
It might come down to what hardware runs on it. So
But they're not supposed to be on those systems. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. I mean, whatever. I mean, if it means I'm going to install it and suddenly
Tim
the
Apple will
machine's-
do anything if you throw cash at him.
Yeah.
If that means I'm going to
Maybe that's
install
why
it,
he's
though,
gay.
and suddenly that machine's going to slow to a crawl, I don't think I want to do that. You know?
You need to upgrade your computer, homie.
I just need a new machine. That machine's starting to age for sure. I mean, not starting to. It is now
That thing.
2 system revs back.
I think
that-
Jason and I's iPad has more computing power than that thing.
It could be.
Possibly. Maybe my iPhone.
It's very possible.
Also possible.
Definitely my iPhone.
Oh.
More memory.
Oh, really? Oh.
Same amount.
All right.
Then
well.
Did you build your box for your subs?
Yes.
The one that the 8s are sitting in?
Oh, no. I
That's-
did not.
that
That's
was-
a prefab.
Okay.
JL prefab.
Okay.
Really?
I thought so.
Mhm.
I thought you built it.
No.
The rest is built. by-
I had designed it. And when
I'm disappointed now.
when I designed it,
I think it's total
Piece of
shit.
shit.
I don't even think it's
when
any
I
good
designed it,
anymore.
I'm like,
Jason, you're
well,
off the
these are
show.
the same.
All the kudos that I was passing to
Right.
you, I'm taking away now.
Now they're.
I was
gone.
like, "Fuck, Foo, you did a really good job on this," but now,
no,
fuck
the
you.
tray and everything under. But when
He's
I
trying to
designed,
redeem
and I
himself.
think I
I
had
know.
this thing with Mike.
He's all, "Well, I built my ass."
yeah,
I put the RS together part by part.
I have extra wood. I could, but I didn't.
I just ordered it on Amazon. Fuck you.
It was like when I
You're one of
when I
those
had the
people.
metrics, I'm like, so this is the size of box I have to build for 2 JL8s, and then I went, but they already.
Well, I mean,
it's literally the same size
why
box as I
why
sell.
not buy it if you don't have to make it yourself? Why would you? You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, that's
in that design.
Yeah.
it's still a fuck you.
I was off by like an inch or so.
Oh, come on.
So I readjusted the
motherfucking
tray to fit that, but
Yeah.
it was a convenient thing. But it
No,
was
yeah,
it was
that's fine.
close within an inch or so. I'm like, I'm not gonna hassle for it.
For an inch.
And it allowed me to put 2 more weekends into building the tray
Mm-hmm.
and the amp rack.
I don't want to hear excuses. I just want to see results.
Right.
And you had the results.
Yeah, it got close.
I'm so hyped to get this project that I'm working with Mike done.
How close did you get?
All we have to do is
Grow a pair.
we have to make 1, 2, 3 more pieces to fit where the box is getting like an L shape down into like next to where the tire is, and then we also need to cut out a hole for the sub, and then we've got to make speaker rings to raise it up because it's not deep enough.
Well, that
So we're probably like 2 hours of being done with it, I think.
will that give your car more horsepower?
Actually, the box is heavy as fuck. So
I bet.
No,
Ooh.
Yeah.
the box is
He's
quite
like,
heavy.
Mike's like, you need to use 1.5 inch MDF.
Yeah.
I think it's a full inch MDF sheet.
And then you gotta coat the inside with this
Lead.
ceramic cement product with epoxy.
Also, I've got these gold bars.
Yeah.
You need to put those in there too.
That just in case Superman wants to see through it, you got to put lead. This lead sheeting.
That's right.
We're making it so that if I for some reason need or want to buy a 15, or if
Dude.
I want to put 10s in there, I use
All
it.
I'm going to say is what I'm hearing now, because now that you've,
given
I
myself
believe,
a gateway.
No.
Okay.
Now that you have correctly tuned your subs gain
Yes,
to your
I
subwoofer,
learned things via science and YouTube.
Now that you've done that, I can hear you coming from a block
yeah,
away.
it's a lot better. The gain was mostly cranked up, and now it's almost down all the way.
Yeah.
It's a much better.
And you can hear them coming. I'm like,
And
I
I'm
was
not
out
even sure
front
it's at
today.
the right
I was
number.
out front working on the wheels on the Cadillac, right?
Yeah.
And I hear this coming down the street, and I turn and look, and it's getting louder, and I don't see anybody. And then the GTI rolls around the corner, and I'm like, "Fucking A, that's louder."
And
than
he gets
shit.
out, and he's got blood running from his ears.
Yeah, if my windows are down, you can hear me.
You
for
can
a
see him
ways.
like trying to reposition his guts in the
Yeah.
right place. He's like, "Oh wait,
I don't know what's going on, but I got 15 hertz running through me. Something fierce right about now.
my liver's in the wrong
Yeah.
place."
Crash! Someone hold this kidney for me. Yeah. Fuck.
It's like you don't need a 15. Just
but I
saying.
might want a 15.
I just lay on my speaker box and it fixes my herniated disc with hertz.
Yeah.
How much power are you able to send to your aides?
I'll tell you what. I'll go to Adam and Eve and order you 15.
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I don't need that, Dad. Please, no.
Here's a big black 15 for you.
They're all black.
Is it double-sided or is it suction cupped?
Yeah.
Which one?
Uh-huh.
Just try and fight it.
Fuck.
Yep.
Get Jordan over here and put it on the other end.
Exactly.
Don't bring my loved one into this.
Yeah. It's like two dogs
I don't
stuck
even-
together to the ass.
I don't even think a 15 will fit in your trunk, to be honest.
It will-ish. Okay.
Will-ish.
Mike and I measured it out. It is on the 40 side of my back seat more than the 60. It is more than the 40 to 60
Could
split,
you
if
not
that makes
put
sense.
put the speaker on the 60 side?
I mean, I could, but then it seems like if I could fold the 60 side down, I can fit more things in there if it doesn't impede with the subwoofer.
All right.
I'm just giving you an example of how
You could
that
just take out your back seat.
Mm-hmm.
And then it
Well,
would fire right at your
You'd
skull.
still have the foldy guys. Right.
Take out the back seat.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
It'll
God.
just be a cargo van.
Yeah.
Y'all need some
the
lumber
speaker
hauled?
box that I had made for the Eclipse,
Mhm.
because I had it like I took it to a professional stop in Charlotte, and I rode with the Eclipse. The back seats were always down because the box that they had made those were 10s,
Okay.
two 10s, was at a 45 that fired at the passenger and the driver. And it was nuts, but it was designed to be driven with the back seats folded down all the time. Like the trunk was just like I could look back and see the deck lid. It was not, and that was fine because no one rode in the car with me except for Venus. It was
That's
two
pretty
people or me.
So you got the discount for the insurance for having rear seat belts.
Yeah.
But you just never
No one used them. No one used them. Yeah,
Nice. As a sad dad, that's cool
it was at the time.
because you got the discount. That's what sad dads are about.
We ran across something earlier in the week, and Piper asked what happened. I think we were talking about it was a vehicle or something. It wasn't the motorcycle. And she goes, "Well, what happened to that?" And I went, "Well, I had it, and then I decided to breed. So then I had to sell it.
Yep.
And then we were talking about something else, and she was like, "Well, what happened to that?" And I went, "Again,
The breedings.
I made babies, so it had to go."
It said, "See ya."
Oh. Well,
I
you were
can't
kind
remember
of cool, Dad.
But it was two things. It wasn't the boat because she knew that we sold the boat.
Oh.
I don't remember what it was.
It's kind of funny. I think back on when I was a kid, my parents had, they had a 73 Plymouth Fury Grand Coupe, so this giant two-door thing, and they had a boat that matched it, like this sparkle green color.
Yeah.
Green.
And then they had some other boat too, but they were my dad was a competition slalom skier.
Oh yeah.
And we have pictures of us when we were little at the rivers and all kinds of
Oh, yeah,
crap.
yeah,
And there's
yeah.
one picture of my brother drinking out of a Budweiser can and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's we were little. I mean, probably, I'm guessing 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And then it was that stuff went away.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they're what the fuck happened? Because you guys
Oh.
did this almost every weekend.
Oh, yeah.
You were going to some river to do slalom competitions, and they had my grandfather owned a Cessna, and my dad was he had a pilot license. So I remember getting in the Cessna and taking off and flying to Arizona
Wow.
in the Cessna and touching down out in the middle of this dirt. I don't even know where the fuck it was. And one of their buddies was making a fucking competition ski lake out in the middle of the desert. And there was a big pipe with water bubbling up to fill the lake.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they were having a, pal around time. Hey, buddy, haven't seen you in a while kind of thing. And I just remember little bits and pieces of that. But it's what happened to the fucking plane and the boats? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
what happened?
I've plenty of times listened and seen pictures of my dad and aunts and uncles. Water skiing was a big thing.
Yeah.
And they were all down south. They could go to like Big Sur or something, and they'd all go water skiing and boats.
And then they disappeared. It was like we got to 3 or 4, and then all of a sudden all the shit went away, and we had like boring lives.
All the time, and they were
boring,
talking about water skiing
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
I mean, even up here.
Where'd you guys get boats?
Yeah, even
It's
up
like, I
here,
don't know.
we moved up to Sacramento area, like junior high time, early junior high, and there were in the garage, their skis.
Oh, yeah.
Still in the garage.
Yeah.
And they hadn't been used since the early 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, where?
I've got a cabinet of wakeboards and that,
Yeah.
that's the same scenario.
And the first time I ever went water skiing, I was like 23 and went out with a buddy on his boat. And like, I'd never been skiing. You know what I mean?
I don't think I ever did water ski.
My
I went
parents
straight
were-
to wakeboarding.
Water skiing, it's really hard.
I mean, my parents were hardcore skiers, but I never got to do it.
Do you
All
ever-
that shit went away.
Do you ever try or see the chairs, the sea chairs, the sled chairs?
No.
So it's like it's got like a, it's almost like a hydrofoil. So you sit on a chair and it's got like a skag that's 2 to 3.
So you're floating above the water.
2 to 3 feet deep.
Yeah.
And it's got like a big fin thing on the bottom. It was real hot with a friend of my dad or my friend's stepdad. Was a hot thing. It was so you pull and you essentially start to plane like a hydrofoil,
Right.
and you could like
up
and down out of the water. It's
Yeah.
the most peculiar. I could never nail that thing. But wakeboard, duck to water.
Okay, never did that either. But imagine this, similar kind of thing, but way back when they actually had boats, I was looking through picture albums. We had pictures of like my dad and my mom and my uncle all doing this at different times. They were riding on a disc, so they're being towed by the boat
Okay.
on a disc, on a fucking stool, sitting on the stool, holding on, drinking a beer. How the fuck do you do that?
On like
What is the
like
process
a piece
of-
plywood?
Yeah, like a round plywood disc on a stool being towed by
See,
the
that's-
boat.
that's baller.
With a beer in your hand, and you're just like behind the boat on a fucking disc on a stool.
I'm trying to do that.
How
Yeah,
do you
fucking?
How do you
shit.
do
Go
that?
get a fucking boat, no joke.
Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat.
First of all, how do you get up on a disc on a stool while you're holding a beer to even be able to
They
do that?
they gotta be able to hucky the beer.
I think
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think the beer was like in the teeth or something. So you're holding the beer,
Fuck
clenching
that,
it.
dude.
Yeah, that's like
I've been
something
down
from
that
the
road
beach.
once.
You feel like almost got to come straight off the beach. Because how else do you get on the?
How do you put the stool on the disc?
This is what I'm saying, dude. But everybody's done it. I mean, all of the family members have done this. I've seen the photos of it.
That will
It's
drive
crazy.
me nuts.
Are they bolted together?
No.
I don't.
Yeah,
that's chicken shit, dude.
Yeah, okay. So were the stools?
It would have to
Screwed
be
in?
together.
Not as far as I know.
That's impossible.
I want to know how
You'd
this
have
works.
to. You'd have to.
Oh my god, I would fuck those people up so bad if I was driving that boat. I'm like, we're doing donuts now. Oh yeah, try and stay on the stool. Yeah.
Here's some S's. Yeah.
Did you ever go tubing?
Oh fuck yeah,
Tubing is dope.
tons of that.
Now, see, I want to.
And that always had
dope.
brought up like a thing. We would go to Shasta. One of the couple times we had gone to Shasta. Shasta is an amazing lake. by the
Shasta
way.
is really pretty.
The one of the last times I had actually been in a place where the aunts and uncles water skied, and I was just starting to wakeboard. And you get someone who water skis, the function and purpose of the behind the boat is like you go across and you make the big rooster tail, and then you come across,
Yeah.
and you make the big rooster tail, and you come across. And that was just like so fucking boring to me.
Yeah. Okay.
So we would get back to the camp and I'd be like, you gonna jump it? You gonna like do something? And like they're like, no. It's about the like, like, well, why? Like, jump the wake, because at that point in time it was like, one, I need you to, because you have to be going so fast on it when you're water skiing. Like, one, I need you to slow down because I need a bigger wake. And they're like, whoa. And, to then, as I'm still learning, I'm not getting close to clearing anything, but I want the wake so that I can jump.
Right.
And it was just like, no, you got to hold on and you got to go to the other side. And then you come back across, Mike.
The whole whip thing is what they're excited about.
Right.
Is that whipping back across
and
the
then,
thing.
And then big rooster tail and like getting like horizontal to the water.
We got plenty of those pictures too.
That's cute, but dude, I fucking get 6 feet of air and I'm almost landing it. They're like, yeah, but you fell. I'm like, well,
yeah, but I was having fun.
Yeah, but you went A, B, A.
You weren't
B.
doing anything.
Like, fucking that's Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, there is some skill to that. But,
yes,
whatever.
Yes, and there's certainly a lot of torsion as you get.
Yeah.
I mean, they would get close.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're stretched out on one ski.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
One water ski. Yeah.
But that's what they were doing. They were doing slalom competition stuff, and where you got to go ski around the buoys and stuff.
Yeah.
As the boat goes right through the middle.
Yeah.
And they're like, but I never got to partake in any of that shit. It was like we got to a certain age, boats were gone. There was a motorhome somewhere, and we had a trailer growing up. We went camping.
So you did no kneeboard, no water sport?
Nope.
Really?
No.
See, as a skateboarder, you would probably do really well to wakeboarding.
Yeah.
Did you say you want to go tubing or you don't want to go tubing?
I'd love to.
Oh, I couldn't tell what you said.
God, like so many mild concussions from doing the tubing.
Nice.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, we had my cousin at Shasta, that same trip, and he had like in a donut. And it was just like, and there was nothing you could do. We would all crawl back on the fucking tube and just like heads pounding, but laughing our asses off, like, launch us again, Todd.
Do it again.
Do it. And fucking he'd just bog it and hook it and just this, and then it's like pucker factor, like, oh, this is gonna hurt. Fuck me.
I'm gonna take a lake douche on this.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, this is the colonic.
I remember the one time.
This will do it.
I think I did it like 2-3 times. We got like super fucking airborne, and we're just like, we look at each other and we're
quiet.
like, oh shit, and then the thing just flips and we're just falling.
Yeah,
it was a good 6 feet in the air, probably.
Oh gosh. That's crazy.
I too miss those opportunities with the kid. Now that they're older, to be able to have a boat to go do something like that out the lake. Because tubing was crazy. I loved
so fun.
I always thought it would be cool to go to Shasta and do like a houseboat for a couple nights.
So you had not done that?
No, I've never done that.
I thought we've talked about that in like one of our hangouts.
I don't know.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
I would.
You guys know the prices? I will tell you if you don't.
Yeah, because we did it. Well, I don't know current prices.
It's pretty expensive.
It's like $4,000 for a 8-person one for.
See, that's not shocking, but you don't. I mean, they
for how
say
many days?
eight
a weekend, like
for one weekend.
Yeah, it's either one night,
but it's
or 2
probably
days.
cheaper during the week. I would imagine.
I don't know.
I would hope that's
the case.
More than one day. But 8-person is like probably the legal thing. The thing is with the houseboat, like when we would do it with the family, it was you can sleeping bag, and you can the kids are all in sleeping bags up on top,
right?
And like you're making do with whoever wants bunk cot type of material on the inside.
Make do.
It is. I don't know how if you're a camper or not, but that is some of the most amazing sleep. And the sky, it is so clear. To this day, those are some of the best nights of sleep. You're on the water, so you've got that little bit of rock.
Yeah.
It's quiet as fuck.
Yeah.
The night sky, you won't see probably any more opportunity to see that many stars.
Right.
So clear, away from urban like light pollution. And and you're camping, so you're probably shit faced. Everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
You're surrounded with people that you all want to hang out with. Usually, most hopefully.
Yeah.
Scooby drinks.
And when the last trip we had made to Shasta, they had started putting like bars, like boat up bars on the lake. So it was like probably the last trip without family, but we would go up there and hang out with a couple of 21 plus year old friends. We would, wakeboard, crash on the houseboat for a bit, and then we would take the wakeboard boat over to a bar and pound some drinks, get back on the boat.
That's what I'm talking about.
Boat drunk.
That's
Yes,
some
it's
fun shit right there.
It was it was good fun.
So is it someone had a boat?
Yes.
Okay, someone brought a boat.
We rented the houseboat.
Okay.
It's actually not terrible.
So
for,
the
for
house
8 people. In the summertime, it's $1,200 for 2 nights.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not that
Oh, and
bad.
you spread that amongst,
8
when you
people?
come up, bring up, a case of beer.
Yeah.
A couple Costco things of hamburgers or whatever's.
That's this,
and buns.
That's this guy right here. This one.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that. You anchor for the night,
Perfect.
and that's a you can. There are variants like higher end models.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me see what a
God, it's
let me
just-
see what a banging ass
That would be
one
fun.
I in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
If we pulled together, if you weren't you're doing something in like a big holiday next year, I would in a heartbeat. I love camping.
Yeah.
B, I love Shasta.
Yeah.
And the houseboat thing is like all of those cool nature things, like all rolled up into one.
Yeah.
And if the lake is high, it's even better because, it looks prettier because
Right.
you're not looking at like 30 feet
The dead.
of a route.
The dead zone.
Shoreline.
Yeah, no, I'd love to do that. I've been looking at that stuff for a long time. Like, I want to go
When
on
was
a
the last
houseboat.
time you
You
camped?
could get one that's
Was
well,
that the big
13
dog?
sleeper for like $2,000 for 2 nights.
Oh, yeah. For 2 nights?
Yeah.
we
That's a little
Chandler
expensive.
was in Scouts,
13 people though.
so we did
Yeah.
camping trips with Scouts. It's been a few years, but we did one camping trip to Yosemite in the wintertime and camped in the snow in Yosemite. It was pretty darn cool. And then we did some backpacking trips in like Point Reyes where you're like pitching a tent, hiking for a day and then pitching a tent at night kind of stuff.
I
But
pitch
we
a
had
tent every night.
Yeah,
we did a lot of like scout camps, and then we've done some camping with other families, like at Russian Gulch.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of seeing a lot of stars, there is no light pollution there,
Really?
and we could see like the space station fly by. Oh, there's a space station. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That was really cool. But we really like camping. I mean, it doesn't bother me at all. I grew up doing a lot of camping.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we didn't go boating, but we did a lot of camping. We went to Yosemite.
And I'm sure at this point it'd be like, we need to rent a houseboat and a boat, and they would have some sort of fucking package. Or Mike might know somebody that has a boat up there at Redding that's like,
we did
Mike.
growing up every summer.
Mike knows. He's probably like, when he gets here, he'll be like, yeah, I fucking know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what are you talking about? Of course.
Hashtag hi, Mike.
But growing up, we did every summer for a week. We did a camping trip to Yosemite with another family.
Yeah.
And that was a blast. We did that every summer. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
So
I think we should all go camping
yeah.
next weekend.
It's all, no.
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 Why is the RV needing some work or something?
No,
Oh.
Not on that short a notice.
Oh, no, you couldn't just like load it up and be like, "We're ready to go."
Well, Venus wouldn't be here, and I would get yelled
Oh, yeah, no.
at. Yeah. If
next week wouldn't be.
What's next week? It's the 19th. Yes, the 19th. If I went, yeah, let's go. And we went up to like Fallen Leaf or some shit up in Tahoe, and I took the kids and the dogs.
Yeah,
and she would be like, "I'm here with my mom."
and you went camping.
And I'd be like, hashtag hi Venus. We're at Fallen Leaf Lake with the Schroeder.
I don't know that we could pull that off. In
And
a
like
week.
with the picture of like me and the kids next to a campfire. Oh, fucking there would be hate.
Oh boy,
I could go for a campfire right about now.
yeah,
That sounds really fucking nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do like sitting around the fire, and just chilling and
Just
hanging
nothing.
out, BS.
Give me a
Yeah.
s'more and a bunch of Coors Banquet.
I don't even need s'mores.
Fuck.
I don't even need beer. I just need the fire and like the
Just a poker. Just poke the fire.
yeah. You need a stick or something
Yeah.
to poke the fire, and that's
also, though, I'd appreciate, but it's not necessary, lighter fluid,
Internet service.
You know?
Yeah, internet service.
I
So
was gonna
that
say
way,
lighter
when the
fluid,
old
but now
people
we're
pass
talking.
out, I can watch My Office.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I remember one of the last trips we took to Yosemite, and like Walkmans were kind of a thing, and so it
Yeah.
was like, you know, as a kid, you were like, well, I got to have my Walkman and listen to music while I'm in Yosemite, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
That was me
nowadays
at every
it's
Boy
totally
Scout outing.
different. Huh?
Yeah.
That was me at every Boy Scout outing with an iPod.
Oh yeah.
and my
You know,
phone.
they went like Boy Scouts like had strict no phones out.
I didn't give
no-
a fuck about
He
that.
did not care.
I'd be like, oh,
They'd
you don't want me to have
complain
my
at
phone
me about
out?
it, and I'd be like, what do you want me to do? You know, he won't let me take it. He's gonna he's gonna fucking go to wherever and buy a burner.
I did that.
You know what I mean?
I have
Yeah.
fucking gone. They took my phone away for bad grades, and I was like, I gotta talk to my fucking shouties. You know what I'm saying? So I went and bought a burner phone, and I bought like 50 minutes on it.
Now
You
that's when you go, sad dad.
Sad.
Yeah.
Dad.
I'm fucking resourceful, bro. It was $20. You inconvenienced
He
me, and
probably
it cost me
stole that money out of
$20.
my wallet.
Probably back when
Maybe.
batteries lasted a little bit longer on the iPods, didn't they? Probably
Yeah.
probably got more out of an iPod battery life.
Well,
than
I
an
would do that. You know,
iPhone.
at nighttime,
What iPod are we talking here?
I don't know.
I had an
last
iPod
one.
Classic or
The
something.
iPods were pretty decent on battery.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that had a
I
color
think you would
screen.
Play music.
And when we were camping with the Scouts, I would go to bed and I'd just watch a movie on that tiny little screen.
The little 4x3
Yeah.
or whatever screen.
Yeah, I didn't give a shit. It was like a little bit of an escape from the Scouts because
Yeah.
for me, dealing with all these other kids was very difficult. Yes.
On my honor.
Is or will Xander be a Boy Scout?
If he wanted to, I don't.
Has he showed any interest? I guess is what I'm asking.
No.
I think it's
And
a
he's
good,
already in 6th grade, right?
Yeah.
I think overall it's a good program, to be honest with you.
I think they're good. I was a scout.
I learned
Yeah.
a lot of
You know,
shit.
they're a good fundamental.
he was just difficult.
You know,
I like what I like.
yeah. If he
Everybody
said he
does.
wanted to, I wouldn't stop him from, I wouldn't hinder him from the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a good program. Would I enroll him in it so he could try it? No. But if he said, I would like to try it, it's done
Yeah.
deal. Absolutely.
I mean, I have to admit, I had a little bit of trouble with the.
This guy hates being around other kids.
Well, I don't hate being around. There was a lot of kids that were just
Pieces
difficult,
of shit.
and that
Including myself.
I don't deal well with other kids being difficult and shit. It's like, you're a piece of crap. It would just bug me.
Yeah.
And you as an adult, they didn't care if they did shit right in front of you. They didn't care. It was very frustrating. And then the other frustrating thing, because I was actually a assistant scoutmaster, like I went through all the training and did like a weekend training with like Scott Winchell, right? I went through all that bullshit, became a assistant scoutmaster.
Okay.
He had a cute
Some
shirt.
of just the structure of everything and how everything was organized and all this, I just had a hard time dealing with that. And it was like they always wanted. I was like a assistant scoutmaster, so they always wanted volunteers for shit to go on some of this. I was like, I don't want to go and deal with all the other people's kids.
Right.
It just was very frustrating for me.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be the difference between when you're enrolled in any program,
Yeah.
where there's an expectation where you're learning something or there's an experience to be gleaned, and that's what, as a parent, that's what you're expecting. And other parents or other kids are treating it as an opportunity to not be the one babysitting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or
Or kids just have their own agenda a lot of the
right.
times. Well,
It's like, if you want to be here for the experience and you're trying to pick up the fundamentals of what the program is about, be here.
Yeah.
Be here in the moment,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. If your mom and dad are dropping you off because they're looking for someone else to
Some
take
escape.
care of little Johnny
Yeah.
or little Debbie, or an escape, and the kid doesn't, and that would be it. The kid doesn't want to be there, so they act the shit. Mm-hmm. I would be in the same boat. I'd be like, well, this is going to go two ways. One, I'm going to fucking set you straight because I have zero fucks, or I'm going to stop participating.
Yeah.
Well,
that was kind of how it was for me. It was just like I sort of kind of backed out. I ended up doing instead of being like an adult who goes on a bunch of shit and deals with all that bullshit because I didn't really care much for that. I ended up being the guy who got pushed through doing a website design for us.
No, okay.
So I ended up being a little bit more on the back end of things.
You're the tech dad.
Kinda. It was like we had this. It was so dumb. We had this website set up where it was like, well, we can. We need to make these changes to the website. Well, we got to tell Betty or whatever the fuck her name was, and then Betty will get to it in the next few days, maybe, kind of thing. It's like, well, this is a major source for people's information on and making decisions on what their plans and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This is the kind of shit that they need to be able to access this information all the time, and quickly and easily. And a website is perfect for that stuff. So we had this website was like handwritten HTML bullshit that she had to come in and edit on her own. And, and I was like, why are we doing it this way? This is BS. We need this. My brother works for a company that does, he's actually one of the main primaries
CCO.
Of this company, and they do a content management system called Mira. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, we can get Mira. At the time, I think they were charging for Mira, but Sean just let me have it for free. They don't charge for it anymore. You can just download it.
You have to have that stupid Adobe Cold Fusion.
Yeah.
Cold Fusion.
Free. Yeah, you had to have a Cold Fusion host. So I had them get a Cold Fusion host that wasn't like $7 or $8 a month or something. And then we installed Mira on there, and I set up the whole website. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They've since moved on from that and there's apparently a Boy Scout specific hosting company that
I'm sure.
Specifically geared towards Boy Scout troops and stuff like that. And I was like, cool, more power to you, because what you had before was shit. I made it a little bit better, and I probably just got a little bit better with this other host because it just offers more for what you're doing.
Right.
So that's great. At least I helped push them in the right direction. So that was sort of my contribution, and I didn't really care much for doing the outings. I didn't want to feel like I was obligated to do something. And it was always like, well, you haven't really volunteered. And people would like look down at you if you didn't like volunteer to go on a fucking 3-day hike through the fucking forest somewhere. And I was just like, I don't want to do that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Do you see Chandler over there?
Number
one.
I
did that. Yeah. That's why he's here.
Well,
he's here.
The other part of it is,
I'm done.
Is if someone gives the expectation of me to do something, I'm going to be like, fuck you. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll jump in when I can and want.
Yeah.
But not to
be
pressured.
Not to appease you.
There was adults that were
sure.
very dedicated.
Yeah.
And that's cool. And
then
there was the adults like Jim who gave zero fucks.
Yeah. And I just didn't care for the hierarchy and some of the other.
It was so political.
Some of the other parents were
parents.
difficult to deal with, and then certainly some of the kids for sure.
Yeah.
So, and the troop was getting way too big at the time, like at our exit. Mm-hmm. It was like the troop had just grown tremendously, and so there were tons of new kids, and it was like everybody's a fucking turd, and I'm out, kind of thing.
I never got my.
We're done here.
I never got my Eagle Scout, but
no,
not fucking.
That would have been cool for you to have gotten that though.
I didn't want to do the paperwork,
scholarships and shit.
Fuck the paperwork.
For all those.
Yeah. Well, no, it gives you a leg up on anybody in a job situation, for sure.
Well, yeah.
But
fuck that.
He's a life scout instead.
True.
Pole scout?
Oh, he's always scouting poles, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Has anyone here got poles to smoke? I'm a pole scout.
He finds them everywhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here's one right here.
Give them to me, doctor. Mm-hmm.
Can I sit on it?
What were you eating the other night?
What?
You had like chocolate on your finger, and you're like, taste this or some shit.
God.
And I go, dude, I'm not eating that. I don't know where the fuck that finger's been. It's probably been in your asshole. And he just started.
It was. And
Yeah.
Jordan's.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Uh-huh. Nutty.
No.
Would you like to try this?
Absolutely.
Even
not.
worse, I think it was some chocolate or something.
I have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. I don't think it was chocolate.
I don't even know what. I remember that, but I don't remember. I
was-
honestly, if you
No.
I
you know
think-
what it was on your
Bro,
finger? Turdsidual.
I think
Yeah.
I think I just walked up to you and you go, "That fucking finger's been in your asshole," and I was like, "Huh?"
you
that's
were
what
like,
I remember.
think you were sticking it in my face, or there was
Maybe.
something on your finger, and I was like, get that away from me. That thing's
Was
probably.
it- was it
I don't
this?
know where it's been. It's probably been in your
was
asshole.
was
Just
this?
peanut butter.
I don't know.
Was
I think it was this
Was
one.
it this?
Yeah.
We're at time.
Oh my God, we're finishing on that.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what she said.
Yeah.
he said he loved me. Then he handed me a paper towel.
He said he was impotent. I'm sorry.
Nothing the pills can't fix.
Is that true, Chandler?
# Target.
Wait.
Got that shit on lock.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's hymns.
Hymns.
Yeah.
Hymns?
Yeah.
Hims?
Hymns.com.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Manscaped, baby.
Okay.
Hey guys, why don't you fucking sponsor us, you motherfuckers?
Oh,
What,
that's a
hymns?
good way to ask him.
Yeah. Hey,
Good job.
give us your goddamn
Now
money,
they'll
and we'll
never
tell people to
sponsor us.
use your shit.
The
Okay,
chemical guys are like listening and they're
Dude,
like, ooh.
bro,
Oh,
I
yeah.
will vouch for you until I goddamn die if there is money in my pocket. And that's dude, that's a fact right there, dude.
Wow. Chemical guys should be a sponsor.
Bro,
That's
Chemical
all right.
Guys needs to fucking move a goddamn location next door to
closer.
my
I did. I
house.
pinged them. They said there was one coming to Sac at some point.
If there's not within the
They
next
told me
year,
to go to San Jose or Concord. I'm like, that Concord is 2.5 hours away from here, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm in Sacramento.
Geotag
area.
my email, dog.
I mean, you know what? I'd be all right with being the guy that opens that Chemical Guys in Sacramento.
There you
I would
go.
love to do that on the.
I wonder if
Franchise?
how much
Yeah.
money you can make
$6. I
on a
think
franchise
6.
from them.
Yeah,
Honestly,
$6.
like I could see myself
Do they?
doing that.
I would see. Why not?
You can. There's
What are the
on
what
their
is
website,
the
you
Concord
can-
store like a franchise out?
Yeah.
Or is it a
all of the detail garages are franchise.
Yeah.
So you can
The
go on their
detail
website
garages
and
carry
you
all
can
the Chemical
fill out
Guys.
a thing, like an inquiry.
just saying. I mean, I have a full-time job and that
Yes.
guy has a full-time job. If someone else here at the table was looking for a job opportunity,
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
weird. It's like,
If I had like however much
I don't
40 grand,
He
I
got
might do it.
He got pinged by hashtag Hi Sarah
Yes,
for car detailing situation.
she said she saw my job on Dragon's Whip.
oh yeah,
Speaking of Chemical Guys,
Did you see Dragon's Whip?
I did. Well, I saw the pictures, but not in person.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what? That's not true.
Oh,
Well, I saw her
Saturday?
Saturday.
Yeah.
So yes, I saw it in person. It was fresh. It was clean.
Fresh.
all right, okay. Well, I think we should probably wrap this up if we're at time.
That's what
Yeah.
she said.
Okay. Well, on behalf of the Sad Dads Club podcast, I would like to say thanks for listening.
Thank you for
I would
listening.
like to say that you can find us at Apple Podcasts, Google bullshit,
Google
YouTube.
Podcast.
I've never seen
Fucking-
that app, Google
You
bullshit.
can find us on the
If you get lost in the Play Store looking for Google bullshit, just ask Siri
Just
where
Google it.
Podcasts are.
Just Google bullshit.
you can find us on
Would you like to
107.9,
subscribe to Sad Dad's Club Podcast?
69
All right,
FM.
Google.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Well, this is amazing. The shit works.
Uncle Scott, fuck you.
Oh my
Oh
god.
wow.
That was my roast from you roasting me on Monday.
Oh yeah.
Take your
Chandler-
Dodge Journey and
Chandler's
fuck off.
good at getting roasted.
Is he?
I ask for it a lot, I think. But also, fuck you.
There we go.
And on that note,
We will catch you next
we'll
week.
catch you next week. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.